And we're live.
We're
Wednesday.
live.
Do
Happy
you know what's
Wednesday.
funny is it's Wednesday already, but when there's a bank holiday, it throws me for a loop for the whole blinking week because I end up not knowing what day it is.
Same. Always the same. I'm like, it's Monday today, isn't it?
I keep looking at the client diaries and people will ask me for the next available. I'm thinking, oh no, wait a minute, we're on this day instead. Tomorrow's actually Thursday, not Wednesday.
Yeah. Always throws you off, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's like, it's, you know, when the clocks go backwards and forwards, that throws me for a loop as well.
Yeah, I agree. Because a lot of things now change automatically, like your phone. I think, and then it's only my car that doesn't. And I always get confused when I'm in my car. I'm like, oh, is it that time? And it's just, I've got to change it myself.
Yeah. My car actually changes itself. My car does it automatically.
Oh, nice.
Don't know
Mine's
why.
a bit old.
It's the age-old oven, and it's trying to remember how to change the oven clock.
I still don't know. I still have no idea how to do that. I just wait until it rolls back round again. I'm like, oh, it's finally the right time now.
Yeah, I've got a magic elf in this house that just changes it for me without me noticing.
Oh, perfect. We all need one of those.
And you've got a dog, so the dogs get really confused because they think, I'm sure it's dinner time, and I'm like, no, not quite, or they'll say, why are you feeding me early?
Yeah, exactly. They get confused as well. Even though they have no concept of time, it still confuses them.
I know. I just wish things would stay the same.
Yeah, be easier, wouldn't it?
Yes. They did try and do away with like the British summertime and the spring forward and fall back. They tried to change that at one point, and there was such a furore that they just left it. I can't remember the reasoning behind it. I think it's got something to do with farmers, to be honest.
Oh.
I think.
That's
and did you know? Yeah, did you know it actually gets dark first in Scotland before the rest of the country? Before, like, the further down the country you go, the later it gets dark. So it's dark in Scotland, but it's not in the rest of the country.
Really? I did not know this.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
That's interesting.
Some bits of Scotland, it's dark a lot of the day, sort of, or is it light? Could be one or the other, or it's light. That's it. Top of Scotland, it's light for most of the day and night. It's really weird.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. You think of these things like Antarctica or something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, the world is crazy.
Yes, you're right. I don't think Wendy's got a tip of the day because I was looking earlier, so we're just gonna kind of wing this. But she did put a posting on earlier, which I liked, and it was all around. It was a reflection of the past year, and since COVID, it was a kind of reflection of how difficult it's been, and basically how we as a business have kind of tried to muddle through that. And I think the one thing that kind of struck me was where she said, sometimes when the chips are really down, is when the best decisions are made. It's easy to make quick knee-jerk decisions when you're in a hole. So step back a bit, write things down, and slowly your brain will calm down. You'll see the answers. If you're sinking in a hole right now, ask for help, as people love to help, but perhaps it won't be as bad as you imagine it might be. And I just thought, one of the hardest things to do, and I think when you're in business, it is really, really difficult to know how to ask for help. And I think that sometimes, and especially working from home, it's very easy to sit here and think you're all alone, and sit here and think it's really difficult to ask for help, because is the question you're going to ask stupid? Is by asking for help going to make people think that you can't do it or you're thick? And I think that is the crux of it, is asking for help sometimes can be very difficult, but it's the right thing to do.
Definitely. If you're stuck, all you can do is ask. And, no question's a stupid question. Well, maybe. But, if you don't know, you don't know. And sometimes that's just the way it is.
Yeah. And I think sometimes you can get to the degree where you think you can't ask for help, but I think asking for help is never ever a failure. Asking for help sometimes is the brave thing to do. So I think,
agree.
yeah, it was quite poignant.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. I couldn't agree with that more, actually.
And there's lots of things in life where there's different situations where people do dig themselves into a hole, and people do get themselves into a bit of a good old Scottish word coming up. They get themselves into a bit of a fankle.
Oh, I've not heard that before. I like it though.
Stick around, girl. I've got some really good Scottish words.
Brilliant. You need to make a calendar with a different phrase for different word for every day.
I used to work at a job. The last job I was at was that I used to work with a big company, and we used to have a competition in a day, and it was really ridiculous, but it was so funny. One of us would take turns, and one of us would pick word of the day, and the competition was every other person in our team, and there was about 10 of us, and every other person in the team had the one person had to get that word into a sentence, and the rest of the team had to guess what was word of the day. And do you know what? Because we worked in complaints, and when you work in complaints, it can be a really emotional time, and it can be a bit fractious, and people are like, me.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And to sort of lighten that mood, and so the team didn't get really down and on their knees, that's what we had was word of the day. And I'd give, or they would suggest, a really ridiculous word, and you had to get it into a sentence, and the rest of the team had to guess what it was. And we had prizes and everything for like the best word of the day.
Oh, that sounds so fun. That's such a good idea.
It was
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it keeps everyone laughing.
One of the words of the day was Shanks's pony. And I gave that to Debbie, and Debbie, oh my God, Debbie was an absolute trooper. And she had to get Shanks's pony into as many sentences as she could.
I wouldn't even know where to start with that. Oh, that's so funny.
She did it.
That's brilliant.
She absolutely did it. And nobody guessed the word, so she got the prize.
Oh, wow.
But
well done, Debbie.
That was a cracker. And I wouldn't mind, but she got it in quite a lot of places, and she made up a poem with Shanks's pony in it.
Oh my gosh. That's brilliant. What a trooper.
Cracker. Yeah, we used to get all sorts. But you had to keep the team motivated. And I think working from home and in this business and being in LiveLink and being in whatever business you're in that requires home working, it's keeping that team motivated and keeping that team happy. And do you know what? That's why I like our Skype group, The Weird and the Wonderful. I think that was a genius move.
Yeah, I love that one. It's great. I just love reading through it. It's always a good one to giggle at and just see what's going on and what's making people laugh throughout the day and what weird things are going on.
That's it, because we do get asked and we do get told weird and wonderful things. And I think that whoever thought of, I think it was Sarah, came up with that genius move.
It was. Yeah, it keeps us laughing.
Oh, it really does. The other one that I really, really, really like is Wendy's Well Done. She brought that out about 2 years ago. That was another absolute gem of a move, because as we've already said, you do need something to keep you going, and it's not easy being in this business and being sort of on your own. It's not easy to keep yourself buoyant, and I think the feedback from the clients and the feedback from each other that go into that well done is priceless. You can't put a price on it.
It is. It's very true, and it just uplifts you sometimes, which everyone needs that. You know, it's always nice to hear some feedback, even for other people. If someone else has had nice feedback, that's also really nice to read. It's just nice to see. Definitely uplifts you a bit when you're head down, busy day, and it's going mad, and you see a nice comment, you're like, brilliant. That's a smile on your face.
It makes you feel, we're doing this for the right reasons.
Exactly. Yeah, we're helping people. We're doing a good job. Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely. No, cracking job. Anyway, I think we've blathered on enough.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thanks for having me, Nick.
No, absolutely. Thanks for joining me, Lauren. It's been lovely to see you again, and I love your hair, by the way.
It's fading a bit. Luckily, you can't see it too well. It's supposed to be blue, but it's going a bit green.
Blue. Yeah,
It's
Carrie that was here had hair like yours, really long blonde, but she has hers. It's almost like a grey mauve colour. Beautiful, beautiful
oh,
hair.
lovely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And she's a beautiful woman, as you are. But her hair is very like yours. It just reminds me. But her hair,
Yeah.
love it.
Oh, I know. It's just fun to change it to do different colours now and again. If you're up for it, it's always a challenge. I do it myself, so sometimes it doesn't go too great, but part of the fun.
Who cares? Who cares?
Exactly.
Wendy's hair, because Wendy's got beautiful blonde hair.
She has, yeah. I apologise. Let me mute myself.
Hello. Anyway, on that note, we will leave it, and I will see you next week, Lauren. Take care, lovey. Bye-bye.
Yes, you too, Nick. Bye.